Have you ever had one of those days? You're standing in the middle of a Tuesday, you've got all the time in the world, but you feel completely, totally unable to start anything. If you've ever felt that strange paralysis, that sense that the engine that drove you for decades has just stalled out, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to dive into the science behind why motivation can take a nosedive after 60. And more importantly, we're going to build a practical, science-backed toolkit to get it back, piece by piece.
This quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's a paradox so many people feel, but nobody really talks about. For years, decades even, you look forward to this incredible freedom, the end of the daily grind. But when it finally gets here, it can feel less like a release and more like, well, a void. That psychological drive that shaped your identity, your schedule, your purpose, it just seems to evaporate. If this sounds familiar, I really want you to hear this. It is not a personal failing. It's a structural problem. And today, we're going to unpack that structure.
So what is really going on under the hood here? Why does this happen? It has nothing to do with getting older or losing your ambition. Nope, it's about the hidden architecture of your life, the scaffolding that held everything up being suddenly taken away. For 30, 40, maybe even 50 years, your motivation wasn't just coming from inside you, it was being powerfully engineered from the outside in ways you probably never even noticed. So let's take a closer look at what that hidden architecture actually was.
Yeah, we're calling this the motivation engine stalls. It's that feeling, right? You're ready to go, the tank is full of gas, but the engine just won't turn over. To figure out how to restart it, we first have to look at the parts that got removed the day you retired. Those external forces that were doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you day in and day out.
And here they are, the three invisible giants that quietly ran your life for decades. Deadlines, accountability, and validation. Just think about it for a second. Deadlines created urgency. That report had to be in by Friday. That project had a hard stop. It was never a question of if you would do it, just how. Then there's accountability. You had a boss, clients, a team, people were relying on you. You couldn't just decide not to show up. The simple fact that others were expecting something from you was a powerful daily push. And finally, validation. That was the feedback loop telling your brain, hey, good job, what you're doing matters. Keep going. The pat on the back, the successful launch, the paycheck. These weren't just perks, they were the scaffolding of your motivation. And when they all vanish at once, the whole structure can feel like it's coming down.
And this isn't just a feeling, it's actual biology. It's a process called reward circuitry downregulation. Now that sounds super complicated, but the idea is actually really simple. Your brain's reward system, the part that releases chemicals like dopamine that make you feel motivated and accomplished, it's like a muscle. For decades, deadlines and validation were constantly giving it a workout, keeping it strong and responsive. When those external cues just disappear, that muscle gets less use. It becomes less active. So that feeling of, I just can't get started, that's literally your brain's reward system being a little out of practice, waiting for a signal that isn't coming anymore.
And then, to make things even trickier, you've got this sneaky culprit, decision fatigue. You'd think that having a wide-open schedule is the dream, right? The ultimate freedom. But psychologically, it can be a total trap. When you wake up and the day is just a blank slate, I could do some gardening, or read that book, or call a friend, or organize the garage. Your brain has to make hundreds of tiny little decisions before you even begin. What do I do first? How do I do it? When? This constant choosing is mentally exhausting. It literally drains the willpower you need to actually do the thing. So in a strange paradox, total freedom can lead to total inaction.
Okay, so what now? We can't go back to the old system, and this brings us to a really crucial shift in how we think about this. Motivation isn't some kind of magic. It's not a mood you just wait for to strike you. It's a process. And here is the key to everything. Momentum is manufactured. The good news is you get to be the engineer. You can learn to rebuild that drive, but this time you'll do it on purpose, from the inside out. This right here, this is the single most powerful lesson of our entire explainer. Drive isn't discovered, it's designed. You are not a passive victim of low motivation. You are the active creator of your own forward motion. The old system, it was automatic. It was provided for you. This new system, well, it needs to be intentional. But it's a skill you can learn, a system you can build. It's all about understanding the mechanics of what drove you before and consciously replacing those external parts with new internal ones that you control.
And this slide lays out the strategy perfectly. We are going to perform a systematic replacement. It's that simple. On the left, you've got the old external system that your job gave you.
On the right, you have the new internal system that you are going to build for yourself. So we're going to replace the external pressure of deadlines with the internal clarity of an implementation intention. We'll replace the professional accountability of a boss or a team with the social support of a momentum buddy. And we're going to replace the external validation of a paycheck or praise with the immediate personal reward of something called temptation bundling.
So let's get practical. Let's move from the theory to the how-to. Here is your new toolkit, and it's filled with science-backed tools you can use to start engineering your own motivation, like today. These aren't just nice ideas. They are proven psychological techniques designed to tackle the very issues we've just been talking about.
These 4 actions are the foundation of your new internal motivation system. Each one is designed to solve a very specific problem, and they work together beautifully. You can think of the first 3 as the pillars of your new structure. And that 4th one, well, that's kind of the secret weapon you use to get the whole process started each day. Let's break them down one by one.
Okay, this first tool is a personal favorite just because it's so simple and so incredibly powerful. It's called an implementation intention. So instead of a vague goal like I should exercise more, you create a concrete preloaded decision. You just fill in the blanks. When I do this existing habit, I will do this new action where I am in this location. For example, when I finish my morning coffee, I will go for a 20-minute walk around my neighborhood. Do you see what that does? It completely wipes out decision fatigue. You no longer have to decide if you'll walk or when or where. The decision is already made. The trigger, finishing your coffee, automatically launches the action. It's like setting up a line of dominoes. All you have to do is tip over the first one.
Next up, the momentum buddy. We humans are social creatures. We are deeply, deeply wired not to let other people down. This tool uses that powerful instinct to your advantage. It's really simple. Find a friend, a neighbor, a family member, and make a specific agreement. Not just, hey, let's both get in shape. No, it has to be specific. Let's meet for a walk at the park entrance every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Or how about we text each other a photo of our decluttered drawer by Sunday night? This creates positive social pressure. Just knowing someone else is expecting you is often the most powerful motivator there is to get you out the door. It perfectly replaces that professional accountability you used to have at work.
So what about that feeling of validation, that immediate reward? How do we replace that? We use this brilliant technique called temptation bundling. The rule is simple. You only get to enjoy something you want to do while you are doing something you feel you should do. Look at the examples here. Do you love listening to a certain podcast? Great. From now on, you only allow yourself to listen to it while you're sorting through that pile of old papers. Are you hooked on a TV show? You only get to watch one episode after you've done your 30-minute walk. This links a kind of boring, low-reward task to a high-reward pleasure, creating an instant dopamine hit. You actually start to look forward to the task you used to dread. You're basically hacking your own brain to create a reward where one didn't exist before. It's fantastic.
And finally, we have the ultimate ignition key for this whole system, the 5-minute rule. This one tackles the emotional barrier, the feeling of, I just don't want to. Often, the thought of doing a task is way worse than the task itself. So you use this rule to just get started. When you feel that resistance, you make a deal with yourself. You will only work on that task for just 5 minutes. That's it. Anyone can do anything for 5 minutes. Set a timer. What you'll find is that more often than not, that initial action is enough to break through the inertia, and you just keep going. This gets to a fundamental truth. Action comes first, and the feeling of motivation follows. You don't wait to feel motivated to start. You start in order to feel motivated.
You know, when you start combining these tools, something really powerful begins to happen. You stop waiting around for motivation and you start creating it. This is that mindset shift from being a passive recipient of your circumstances to becoming a proactive momentum engineer. An engineer understands a system, sees where it's broken, and uses the right tools to fix it. It's an empowering, energizing way to think about yourself. You are the one designing the systems that create your own purpose and drive.
This quote is really the philosophical core of everything we've talked about today. We have this idea that we need to feel good to do something, but all the science shows us it's actually the other way around. Action is the spark that lights the fire of motivation. The small act of just putting on your walking shoes, the simple act of opening the book, those 5 minutes of sorting papers, these little physical actions send signals to your brain that actually generate the feeling of motivation. Action is the cause, not the effect.
I'm going to say this one more time because it is so important. If you have been feeling this slump, this lack of drive, it is not your fault. You are not broken. The system around you changed, And just like any mechanical problem, it has a mechanical solution. You are now equipped with the schematics and the tools to fix it. You're a momentum engineer, and this is a structural challenge you are absolutely capable of solving.
Okay, but knowledge is only potential power, right? Action is where the real power is. So let's bring this all home and make it incredibly practical. What is the very first step you can take right now to start manufacturing your own momentum for tomorrow? Let's make it simple, clear, and super easy to do.
So if there's just one core idea you take away from all this, let it be this. Motivation is manufactured. It is built, not found. It's the result of a system, not a random feeling. Your retirement is a new project, and you are the lead engineer.
So here is your gentle challenge for tonight. First, just think of one small thing you've been putting off. Just one. Don't pick the biggest, scariest thing on your list. Pick something manageable. Second, take out a sticky note or a piece of paper and write down your implementation intention for it. Use that when, where, what formula we talked about. And third, put that piece of paper somewhere you absolutely cannot miss it tomorrow morning. On the coffee maker, on your bathroom mirror, taped to your phone. This simple act is the first turn of the key in your brand new motivation engine.
So let's just take a moment and bring this all together. We started by acknowledging that really common, frustrating feeling, that loss of drive that can happen when the old structure of work just disappears. We learned that this isn't some personal flaw, but a structural issue, caused by losing the external deadlines and accountability that powered our brain's reward system for so long. But then, we found the solution. We discovered the power of an implementation intention to slice right through decision fatigue and the clever trick of temptation bundling to make even tough tasks feel rewarding. We learned that we don't have to wait for motivation to just magically strike. We can build it, we can design it, and so we end with this one reassuring thought, that by becoming your own momentum engineer, by consciously building these new systems for yourself, you secure a future defined not by stagnation, but by energetic, purposeful action and real, enduring satisfaction. You hold the blueprints, you have the tools, you are the engineer of your own momentum.